All right, good morning, everybody. Joe Van Doren here, and welcome to our Virtues Pick for today. We're very excited to be here, and it looks like I'm losing and dropping frames fast as can be, but we'll see what happens. So, today we have a great word and one that's talked a lot about in all the circles of different communities, and that word and that virtue is kindness. And so let's just take a look at that. Let's make this a little bit bigger so you can see it. There we go. So let's look at that for a second and just see, read the description, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. So here it is. Kindness is caring that springs from compassion. We have genuine concern for the welfare of others. We are warm, friendly, and ready to help. We listen for the needs beneath the words. We give tender attention in simple ways that brings others happiness. Kindness is the daily bread of love. When we feel angry, we resist the temptation to be cruel. We are good stewards of the earth and all living things. When we fill our own cup, our kindness naturally overflows to others. So, what a great virtue, kindness. And we hear so many people talk about being kind and demonstrating kindness, and we hear about kindness being talked about in schools with the classes and with individuals. And it certainly is important. There's no doubt about it. But for me, when I'm thinking about kindness, I'm thinking about today anyway. I'm thinking about how is it that I can look at and see others in a light that I want to do things that will increase their joy in life, that will make things easier for them, that will help them in doing things that they may not be able to do for themselves. And it's giving that, as it describes it here, that tender attention, that kind of gentle way, that way of not only having empathy and compassion, but taking action in a way that is helpful and comes from a place of general concern for other individuals and other parts of our life. And so kindness can be demonstrated not only to other individuals, like inside our family or inside our community, but it can be kindness can be shown towards animals. Kindness can be shown towards our environment. Kindness can be shown for other things that we are beliefs that we have, so that things that are important to us. So when we are willing to give that attention and find ways to create the greater joys and the greater ways of being, then in fact we're demonstrating this and doing acts of kindness. So it was interesting back in way back in 2003, 2004. I started on a journey with one of my mentors in a thing called the Ultimate Black Belt Test. And one of the things that we were asked to do in that test, beyond all the physical things, was we were asked to do 1,000 acts of kindness in a given year and to record them, and also to be the catalyst for 50,000 acts of kindness. Or in other words, encourage others to demonstrate kindness and to record their acts of kindness. And I will just say that that was a very exciting lesson for me, because I learned that, sometimes we don't recognize the kindnesses that are being shown towards us. And I think that was one of the biggest lessons that I learned in that whole thing. Not only was I able to record kindness, kind acts that I, were able to complete, but just as importantly, I was able to see how kind other people were to me. And so that's, as I think about kindness, that example always comes back to me. I'm always reminded of that. And so when we think about teaching our children about kindness, it's not about just simply saying to them, well, that wasn't a kind thing to do, or, you need to be more kind when you act this way or that way. And I would suggest that having those conversations on a regular basis with our kids about what kindness looks like. So, what does it look like in your family? Is kindness in your family shown by, I don't know, helping with household chores? Or is kindness shown by helping bring in the groceries or by putting clothes in the hamper? That would be a kind act, wouldn't it, for all of us, right? And so, what would it look like in these different situations? And I think every family needs to sit down and really have some general discussion and specific conversation about what it looks like in your family. And then you can always have that, when the time comes when we may need to correct our children about when they've not been kind, just to ask them, what could you have done in this situation that would have demonstrated this virtue of kindness more fully? So as you do that, it might be by giving examples. How would you show kindness if you have, when a new child comes into your classroom? How would you show kindness when it's when the dinner is over, right? How could you show kindness in these different ways? And there's so many different ways that we can do that, and every family has their own methods, I would say, their own ways of showing kindness. And it could be that kindness to animals is something that's extremely important to you, and so you get involved in ways of doing that. And when we do that, that helps us to grow our kindness within ourselves and within our children. So it appears that I'm dropping like over 60% of the frames on this, so I'm just going to cut it short today. I encourage everyone to continue practicing the virtues, and especially this virtue of kindness. And until next time, keep practicing these virtues and the 4 C's of successful families, and that is clarity, communication, consistency, and community. Until next time.